If the shoe had been on the other foot, if the transgressions had been on her side, do you think you would be able to be as forgiving of her as she was of you?
I hope. Again, because I love her the same way. No matter what side, I love her the same way. I prayed it out.
This just keeps happening. Beautiful people, perfect photos, ironclad PR, and then cheating blows the whole illusion to ash. These scandals didn't just break hearts. They rewrote careers, split fandoms, and turned private betrayal into public sport.
Oh my God, I'm gonna cry for her.
Oh. She's literally gonna go into labor over this. Hey.
What the is that?
From leaked kisses to musical confessions, this list just proves one thing. Fame doesn't protect love, it monetizes its collapse. So who survived, who spiraled, and who turned betrayal into power? Stay locked in, like and subscribe for the full meltdown. Robston rupture. It hit like a meteor wrapped in paparazzi flash. Twilight was still printing money, the fandom was still feral, and Kristen Stewart was supposed to be America's moody girlfriend-in-chief until she was just photographed kissing the wrong man in the wrong car in the wrong year. Director Rupert Sanders, married. Kristen, dating Robert Pattinson. The photos didn't whisper, they screamed. And the internet responded the only way it knows how, with outrage, heartbreak, and 1,000 badly cropped reaction memes.
Their relationship survived a fling with a much older director. Stewart now out with a stunning apology yesterday, and Pattinson so far silent.
These steamy pictures, released by Us Weekly Tuesday, reveal that instead of Team Edward versus Team Jacob, these days it's Team Pattinson versus Team Sanders. The snapshots apparently show 22-year-old Kristen Stewart stepping out on her on- and off-screen beau, Robert Pattinson, with her Snow White and the Huntsman director, Rupert Sanders, a 41-year-old married father of two.
What made this scandal sting wasn't just the cheating, it was the honesty. Kristen didn't hide behind misunderstandings or taken out of context. She detonated her own image with a blunt public apology. Unfaithful, cheated, hurt the one she loved most. No PR yoga, just emotional shrapnel aimed directly at Rob. Fans didn't know whether to applaud the accountability or riot in the streets. Many chose both. Meanwhile, Robert Pattinson quietly moved out, looking like a man who had aged 10 years in 10 days. Rupert Sanders apologized too, calling it a momentary lapse, a phrase that will forever live in the Hall of Fame for minimizing catastrophes. His marriage imploded publicly, reminding everyone this wasn't just celebrity cosplay pain, there were families involved. Hollywood's reaction was icy but uneven. Some closed doors, others, notably Jodie Foster, publicly defended Kristen's talent and humanity. The blockbuster path dimmed, but something else happened. Kristen pivoted. Indie films, risky roles, critical acclaim. She didn't crawl back to relevance, she rebuilt it sideways. The affair ended quickly. The fallout didn't. And Robston, briefly resurrected, then buried for good. A fandom heartbreak that still echoes like a sad Tumblr GIF loop from 2012. Hollywood Triangle. This is the scandal that refuses to age. Brad Pitt, Jennifer Aniston, Angelina Jolie. Three names that, when arranged correctly, still cause pop culture to combust. It started on the set of Mr. and Mrs. Smith, where chemistry wasn't just on screen, it was radioactive. At the time, Brad was married to America's sweetheart. Angelina was the wild card, and the rumors arrived before the wrap party.
But does it bother you with the tabloids? I mean, we joked about this last
It only
time.
bothers me when it's a certain kind of story. Like sometimes there's a story about where it undermines some other relationship I have or something. A married man. If there's some that I think is it just bothers me because I had my parents were in this business when my father cheated on my mother. He had to deal with tabloids. I know how much it hurt her. It's like so I know certain stories that there's just like they just throw anything out and they just really don't think about somebody's 7-year-old kid walking by and looking at a headline.
Early on, there were denials. Coordinated, polished. Brad and Jennifer publicly shut down cheating talk, which only made the eventual split feel like emotional whiplash. When the marriage ended in 2005, and Brad appeared suddenly attached to Angelina, fans felt lied to, not just betrayed. Insiders whispered about tension on set, long conversations, lines blurring. Gossip columns feasted. Jennifer became the wounded party in the public imagination, and she wore that role with visible grace and private pain. Years later, she would admit how deeply it hurt, not just the loss, but the way it unfolded so publicly. Brad and Angelina rarely detailed the early days, letting speculation calcify into myth. Their relationship became a cultural event, complete with children, humanitarian optics, and eventually their own spectacular implosion. But the origin story never stopped haunting them. This wasn't just cheating lore. It was a moment that reshaped celebrity allegiances, rewrote tabloid power dynamics, and proved that Hollywood doesn't just sell movies, it sells emotional narratives, whether the people involved consent or not. Lemonade Reckoning. This wasn't a cheating scandal. This was a syllabus. When Beyoncé dropped Lemonade, she didn't announce betrayal. She curated it, scored it, dressed it in couture grief, and handed it to the culture like a mirror. The message was clear without ever naming names. Something was broken, and Jay-Z was standing in the blast radius.
It's my soulmate, it's the person I love. You know, you can be in love with someone, you can love someone, and if you haven't experienced love and you don't understand it and you don't have the tools to move forward, then you're gonna have complications. And if you can either address it or you can until it blows up at some point. You know, for us, we chose to fight for our love, for our family, to give our kids a different outcome. See, to break that cycle for Black men and women, to see a different outcome. Like you were saying, it's not this celebrity couple. We were never a celebrity couple. We were a couple who just happened to be celebrities.
Fans went full detective. Lyrics dissected, visuals freeze-framed, and then came the line, Becky with the good hair. 3 seconds of audio that launched 1,000 internet witch hunts. Beyoncé never confirmed a culprit because she didn't have to. The pain was the proof. Rage, sorrow, restraint, revenge fantasies, it was all there, filmed like a holy text of feminine fury. Jay-Z didn't clap back. He waited. Then came 444, an album that functioned less like a defense and more like a confession booth. He admitted infidelity, referenced therapy, acknowledged generational trauma, and, most damning, admitted how close he came to losing everything. This wasn't damage control, it was emotional accounting. The backstory made it heavier. Rumors had simmered for years. There was that elevator incident with Solange. There were whispers. But what made this saga rare was control. Beyoncé turned betrayal into art. Jay-Z turned shame into reflection. And together, they refused the tabloid script. They reconciled publicly, but not cheaply. Interviews later revealed therapy, boundaries, work. No fairy tale, just effort. In a genre built on mess, this one became a masterclass in narrative ownership, pain, processed, and platinum certified. Relentless betrayal. Khloé Kardashian didn't get cheated on once. She got cheated on in seasons. The first wave hit in 2018 when surveillance footage showed Tristan Thompson kissing other women while Khloé was 9 months pregnant. The timing was cruel. The optics were worse. She gave birth days later under a microscope powered by Wi-Fi and judgment.
There's video of Tristan making out with a girl last night. I know, Khloé's gonna die.
The person who filmed the clip said, I was there and he was on the table right next to us with a group of friends. Everybody watched them make out several times.
I mean, I can't even imagine being in Khloé's shoes, how reckless it all seems. This is really shocking and obviously heartbreaking.
Tristan apologized. Words like mistakes floated around. Reconciliation followed briefly because hope is stubborn. Then 2019 arrived with the kind of twist reality TV couldn't script better. Jordyn Woods, Kylie Jenner's best friend, family adjacent, and not a rumor, a confession delivered calmly on Red Table Talk. The fallout detonated across social media, allegiances shattered. Khloé later revealed she learned about it online, not from Tristan. Betrayal layered with humiliation is its own special kind of trauma, and viewers watched it unfold in real time. Just when the saga seemed exhausted, 2021 delivered the final insult. Tristan fathered a child with Marilee Nichols while actively reconciling with Khloé, and while planning a second baby with her via surrogate. Court documents confirmed it. Paternity tests sealed it. The truth arrived late and loud. Khloé eventually walked away, bruised but clear-eyed. This wasn't just about cheating. It was about repeated disregard. A cautionary tale broadcast in high definition, proving that forgiveness without change isn't healing. It's just a pause button. Public confession. Halle Berry's cheating scandal didn't come with blurry photos or anonymous sources. It came with a man standing up and admitting everything. Eric Benet cheated multiple times, and instead of dodging, he owned it. Publicly, painfully, and irreversibly.
Regardless of the fact that you're in a relationship with Halle Berry, for me, it was just, I'm in a relationship with this artistic person who's in a lot of ways is weird like me, and that's cool, but no one can prepare for what happens when you're trying to still figure out how to deal with each other and maneuver through your relationship when you are living in the...
Married in 2001, separated by 2003, their relationship collapsed fast. Benet entered rehab and released statements acknowledging his infidelity. No deflection, no excuses. Halle stayed mostly silent, which only sharpened the contrast. She didn't need to explain. He already had. The divorce finalized in 2005, but the impact lingered. Halle later admitted the betrayal reshaped how she trusted men, influencing decisions and relationships that followed. The damage wasn't just romantic, it was psychological, and she carried it quietly. For Benet, the cost was professional too. Labels cooled, promoters hesitated. He later admitted cheating didn't just end his marriage, it stalled his career. That level of accountability is rare in celebrity culture, where silence is usually the strategy. This scandal didn't scream. It sank in, a reminder that sometimes the most devastating betrayals don't need spectacle, just truth, stated plainly, and consequences that follow. Broken engagement. Jennifer Lopez and Alex Rodriguez were supposed to be the blueprint. Power couple branding, business synergy, matching ambition. A wedding reportedly already in the works. Then came the reports. A-Rod allegedly FaceTiming Southern Charm star Madison LaCroix while engaged. Not a fling rumor, a digital breadcrumb trail.
J-Lo and A-Rod have called it quits? Huh? Just a month ago, the two were spending time together, cuddling up in the Dominican Republic, and now Page Six announced that they have officially split and called off their 2-year engagement. The last video J-Lo posted to her Instagram was a series of clips of her laughing, and she said, "Find a good reason to laugh today," and this was just one day before their split was announced. They back a fitness brand together, they tried to buy the Mets together, but they did have to postpone their wedding twice due to the pandemic. So what do you think? Is this really the end for J-Rod, or do you have a little bit of hope that the two of them will get back together?
Denials came first, damage control followed. J-Lo even flew to see him while he was filming, trying to salvage what looked perfect on paper. But behind the scenes, evidence didn't match explanations. Trust cracked quietly, then completely. This wasn't Alex's first brush with cheating allegations. His past was well documented. Jennifer had believed growth had happened. This moment proved otherwise. By April 2021, the engagement was over, polite statements released, a chapter closed. And then, almost instantly, history repeated itself in reverse. Jennifer reconnected with Ben Affleck. The public watched disbelief turn into nostalgia-fueled chaos. The rebound wasn't subtle, it was cinematic. In the end, this scandal wasn't loud. It was clarifying. Jennifer emerged speaking about self-worth, boundaries, and learning what she deserves. Coded language, sharp meaning, another almost marriage undone by betrayal, but this time, the exit was swift and final. And that's the quiet truth behind all this noise. Cheating doesn't end when the headlines fade. It lingers in careers, trust issues, rebound relationships, and carefully worded interviews years later. Some of these celebrities rebuilt stronger, some just learned to hide the cracks better. But every one of these scandals left fingerprints on pop culture that never quite washed off. Which one hit you the hardest? Drop it in the comments, and subscribe for part 2.